closer. One with the ghetto, got wise since I got older.
Intro playing.
After that federal dollar, balance the world on my shoulders. I know my soldiers are following at war. Cause kids still dying in the streets at war. On the block, running from the police at war. With the US, this ain't the Middle East at war. With problems in my own community in the store. It's the only way to fight an enemy. Lord, save my father from this bottom to Hennessy with more. Can I give? I'm giving all of me. And for real, it's only getting hotter for me. Harder to see and harder to breathe.
Ron, is intro on that plan?
I gotta be smarter than my enemies.
Okay, well, I'm okay. I'm about to let's do this. Okay.
This could be the chair. What happened to him? See, now I need y'all to bear with me as I bear my soul and take you insides behind enemy lines about some state-sanctioned assassinations, mass incarcerations, and some other plans these pigs have put into place in order, amongst other things, to control the world population. See, now it ain't no coincidence. A lot of y'all cats don't even know about the infamous COINTELPRO. G-Men, government hitmen, directed by Director J. Edgar Hoover and his hitmen. Political frameworks which they still got out of cats politically caged up, killing us and hitting us for more than just a gun. And some names which for legal reasons I can't even mention, they're still on the run. Now imagine, if you will, the same goddamn government brought in all the dope, putting your picture on a poster, placing a bounty on your black ass with the words wanted blazing across the daily news front page. Your face being placed right up under an institutional issue scope. See, we talking about a bunch of bad motherfuckers. We're looking for number one ducking on motherfucking trouble. Shit. Go-getters and hard-hitters who gave us free medical centers. You see, stood straight up against the system and said, yeah, motherfucker, we subversive and freedom of death. It's trapped up in the spirit of self-defense. Free clothes and free busing programs, first free breakfast programs, armed with a political ideology that withstood the test of time and a 10-point platform. Hold on now. I fast forward in closing words from the tongues of the Black Panther Party clubs. Let us continue to resist and never forget 2337 West Mountain Road, 4:35 a.m. in the morning, west side of Chicago, 1969, December the 4th. Shit.
Heads up, eyes open, and fist clench, y'all. Heads up, eyes open, and fist clench. Y'all know who this is and how we do this in the spirit of making history, taking history, and taping history. Let's get locked and loaded for another episode of Free Amar Radio. We got a combination of things happening here, y'all. We are Intellectual Radio. We here. We got a coalition of forces that's on deck with us. So again, if y'all can't take a pause for the calls, open the front doors and back windows and let them know, hey, it's on and popping. You dig? If you tripping, if you got some boundaries, you can't go certain locations. This might not be the ride for you, because you dig. We might pull up in Ghana, Africa. We might pull up in Alaska. You dig? We moving and grooving. You know what I'm saying? Cook County Jail might call in, Angola Penitentiary might call in. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Whatever walk of life you may in entertainment, this streets and electoral politics. We say again, everything. Let me reiterate that everything is political, and we say political. We're not just held in the confines. We refer to as plantation politics, as Democrat and Republican. To my words, terms, fashion, everything is political. So with that being said, y'all, let's make history. Let's take history, and let's tape history, y'all. That's what it is, y'all. We got a number of things we're gonna touch on. Travel with me. Let me come through the door with the decision. Well, excuse me, not the decision. The announcment. Guys, the first black man, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and there was an announcement yesterday or the day before in regards to reparations. Discussion that's been happening long period of time, and to put in this attempt to put in this correct context. A lot of times when people hear terms like reparations in regard, especially with our people, they attempt to minimize or devalue it to just some people want some money, so on and so forth. But even the political dynamics of reparations, you know what I'm saying, to repair, and you look at other communities, you know what I'm saying, whether you're talking about Nazi Germany, you know what I'm saying, Japanese community, you know, what have you, the dynamic of repair. I forgot what it was. The McFarland, forgive me, it was after World War II, where there was a position taken about there's an actual program put together to get people back on their feet. So on this, I'm gonna recall this guy's name in a minute, y'all. Give me 1 second, bear with me, or as we say, Panther, cub with me. You But when it comes to like black people in particular, as I know I said, treat like the Rodney Dangerfields of all races. In other words, no respect. So you know what I'm saying, you talk even discussion, people try to dismiss it or devalue it. And I'll be saying, what's the issue about regards? Why is it such a hard issue? My brother just tapped in with me. I see you, man, right on. Bet, man. We're gonna touch on this subject. We're gonna move and groove too. We're gonna finish up on this thing about the mayor of Tulsa, with the announcement about the reparations. We're gonna talk about the case in New Orleans, and even with this here. Let's try to struggle with our words and terms to make sure we be hearing. So we want to up the ante so we can distinguish revolution from reactionary, stealing from liberating, commutation from pardon. The brother Antoine Massey, listen to what he said. He said when he was let out, not when he escaped prison, when he was let out. You know what I'm saying? So again, this is a time we want to seize the time. Lenin of the Russian Revolution said that what takes people 20 years to learn in ordinary times, they can learn in 2 years in revolutionary times. We are in reactionary times, but you can see I was asked a question the other day on the interview, and they said, well, what type of impact you think it would be in regards to Mr. Larry Hoover just being back to the community? And I said, well, it doesn't even look thus far on social media, the type of discussions that are happening. Because a lot of times our people, we told don't get involved. Like you tell children, it better be seen, not heard. People are talking about this that term such as pardons, commutation, you know what I'm saying? Revisiting case, look at the logic. A lot of people are so subjective. That's how the system work on emotions. Don't even know what the case was, so on and so forth. And I see one sister saying, well, how they gonna say fight us, free this person, so on and so forth. Y'all know our position ain't free them all. You know what I'm saying? Again, and if you believe this system is interested in stopping crime, you believe Don King want to stop boxing. It's an economy, it's a livelihood based on this. So we want to heighten it, heighten the contradictions, have some discussion. This is our part 2 of follow-up, and we combining it with Freedom on Radio. And the other day we talked about some different dynamics, went back into some of the background, the case, the state case, federal case, and distinctions. And I want to seize the time, because a lot of times we hear people in our community are murdered when they locked up. You hear these stats and facts and these numbers, and you're saying, and you kind of become stoic, disconnected from the people. And as Wendy Mandela said, when a person is in prison, it's not just the individual who's in prison, how it impacts the family and the community. And a lot of people, you know, they can't really grasp that. When Tupac talked about Brenda's got a baby, that video was, when they go back to that video, and a lot of cats was questioning, okay, what that got to do with us? And Pac he broke it down, like, let me take you through there. Let me show you how it impacts the family, the community, the people. You dig what I'm saying? And a lot of times you know what I'm saying, you're in Chicago in particular, which is the most segregated city in the country. It's something that the class and race dynamic is imperative. But let them tell you, think just even our community, the black community, only one had these different, street organizations, so on and so forth. That we'll talk about that, the whole history of Chicago, you know what I'm saying, the Hamburgs, the dailies, all that. But with our people, again, we hear these, we become stoic and cold. You hear these names. We want to struggle to up the ante. You know what I'm saying? We talking about community members, to our people. You know what I'm saying? People have families who have struggles, who have issues, you know what I'm saying, so on and so forth. In the words of Slime Family Stone or Arrested Development, and we everyday people. With that being said, there's been a lot of discussion recently. It's actually been going quite some time, but in particular recently in regards to the case of Mr. Larry Hoover. And again, people hear these names and they be detached. I got my brother Larry Hoover Jr. on the phone, online with us. We're gonna bring him on. You know what I'm saying? I want to touch on update what's happening, and also in particular to help humanize. You know what I'm saying? To a lot of our people, to let the record reflect the people in general. You know what I'm saying? Because again, this system has done such a job. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And whenever they set the stage, wherever with the propaganda, it could be your own biological family member. You know what I'm saying? You'll be so disconnected. You know what I'm saying? You'd be like, wait a minute, you know this brother, know this sister? That being said, my brother, welcome, Larry Hoover Jr. Can you hear me?
Hey, what's going on?
Man, it's good. It's always good to see you. We just touched bases face to face the other day. Well, but again, it's always good to see you touch bases with you. This ain't your first time with us. You know what I'm saying? That ain't gonna be your last. It's definitely not the last time. I want to get straight in. The other day we had did. I know you've been with the recent this decision in regards to the commutation. I can imagine things are moving 1 million miles a minute. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, and how y'all got to move on. I don't say y'all, say we got to move on a pivot, because but people are learning to be able to distinguish, you know, commutation, pardon. And a lot of people when they first heard it, you know what I'm saying? He's like, okay, man, you know, he's free. Where are we at now? Well, in regards to the case between the, you know, because you have distinguished that as a commutation as opposed to pardon.
Okay, well, he's not free. He's free from being in the basement in Colorado, being locked in that dungeon in a closet. So he's always carried under two jurisdictions, and it was the state jurisdiction and the federal jurisdiction. For the federal case, he's free. The drug, the RICO case, all that's over with. You know, the president got rid of that. But the state case, they never let go. So he's held under two jurisdictions. So now we're dealing with the state case in the state of Illinois and Governor Pritzker.
Dig.
We asking Governor Pritzker to add, huh?
No, I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. Go ahead. I'm just saying, dig. Go ahead.
Okay. And we asking Governor Pritzker to give us some mercy. You know, my father, as far as the drug case was he served his time. The First Step Act would have cut his time down, but nobody went by what the law was. We needed something above the law to happen for him. And that's what we got. We got somebody above the law to give him a chance, because they don't give him a fair shot. Every day in the media, when you hear them say my father's name is Larry Hoover. He's a 74-year-old man. They call him the notorious gangster disciple leader, Larry Hoover. He denounced that years ago, and this is how they paint the picture. Like, actually, he's fighting the case from 73 for a murder that they said he gave the order for, that the actual guy who did the murder got out in the 90s. So was it really about the murder, or was it something else? Because they say he gave the order, but the guy who actually pulled the trigger and said that he pulled the trigger was released. So now we're back dealing with that state case. But you wouldn't believe that we were dealing with that state case is because they keep talking about all the murders he's committed. He hasn't been convicted of any murders. Like, there's a lot of slander that's going on out there, and we fighting slander, and it's hard for him to get a fair shake because of this slander. I'm quite sure a lot of people out here feels like he was a hitman because that's how they describe him. They show him as that, but he's a 74-year-old man. He's not the man that he was when he went away, and we asking, like, is it a such thing as redemption? You know, is there such thing as being reformed? Because they do not want to give him the opportunity to do that or say that that's done. Anybody that has been away he's been away for 52 years, but he's been locked in a closet for 30 years underground. Nobody that's been away doesn't understand what they've done wrong. I mean, he's even said that he was regretful for what he's done, and that he wanted to try to make a change and try to give back to the community. He knows the harm that he's done. He's not interested in I'm losing my spot back there, but yeah, he's not interested in bringing harm to the community. He's interested in maybe touching his grandchildren and touching his wife, and just seeing if it's another part of freedom. But is it a such thing as actually serving your time? Like, do we believe in redemption? Like, after 50 years, you know, he deserves a shot. He deserves a second chance. Yeah. He's been punished, and he's been punished severely. Yeah. Like, is that not good enough? Why does anybody that may have committed the crimes that my father has committed or more deserve a second chance, and he deserves death? Because their punishment for him is to die in jail for real. They're not even looking at the crime. They're looking at the rumors or the image that they give him. They refuse to give him an image of any of the other things that he's done. They look at his past and some of his past. Mostly what they look at is the rumors that they brought. But they don't look at his past as far as him with 21st Century Vote and bringing 10,000 voters into the Illinois voting system. It's just that he's a monster and he's a criminal. But even with all that, for the crime he's committed, everybody that was in that situation with him, that he was convicted of, they were released under the First Step Act, and they deserved a second chance because the law stated that. For him, they didn't feel that way. And now that he's past that part and he's dealing with a case from 73, they're still talking about the case that he's been freed of. This is not about that. This is about him, a murder that they said that he gave the order to back in 73. So we're looking for fairness. Is it a such thing as redemption? Is it a such thing as reformation? Like, does the prison system work? If it doesn't work after 50 years, we need to get that together. Because he's been gone for 50 years.
I'm glad you put that in context, and a lot of times even we become I guess stoic or disconnected. Like when you hear these different numbers thrown around, like it's a term they would say, you hear people reference, they say the judge gave his young brother, his young sister football numbers, and you start hearing these numbers, and then people will come, like you see people that was exonerated, they come out, did 38, 40 years, and I tell you, we get caught up like, oh, they out, and I say, don't get me wrong, I say, man, but you look at how strategic this is. I mean, taking brothers and sisters from the community doing they times they can reproduce, the whole impact. I mean, how you destabilize a community. And when you hear those numbers, I just think about, I mentioned the other day that, technically speaking, every 21 years is a generation, but we got to kind of assess and adapt with our situation, because, when you colonize, our situation, we get, you might, like they make light of it now, how they say grandmothers are different, they're younger now, but it's a reality. It's a reality. According to our situation, what's going on, whether it be we've been impacted by a particular generation being impacted by the crack era, the mass imprisonment, the impact it has on us, and to hear that 52 years, just and I want to say that again, 52 years, and put in context, like how old, our listeners, and how old you are, and thinking about that, how many what's like some like generations, like, I mean, you know what I'm saying, your grandson, his grandchildren, and what's something, like who have did contact him, touch down with him, or the impact of being taken from the family, how long?
Well, so actually, my daughter is 25 now. My son just graduated from high school. Like, they're going through the same things that I went through. Yeah. Like, they went to 8th grade graduation, my daughter did. Then she graduated from high school. Then she went to be a cosmetologist. She went through that program. She graduated from cosmetology. She has her own business. My son graduated from grammar school. Now he's graduating from high school. He's getting ready to go into the trades and also going to college. So, I mean, I'm 50. I'm 52 now. I'll be 52. And I did get to touch my father at a point in life, but it's been 30 years, and my kids have never got to touch their grandfather. Right now, he's even excited not just because it's a big thing. I can't downplay it as if it's a big thing. He is out of federal custody. Yeah. So he's in a regular prison system where he can go to the phone and make a phone call. Like, he's really happy with coming out of that dungeon. It was almost like, even if I'm never forgiven, I would feel good to come out of the dungeon, but he deserves a second chance. Like, everybody else deserves a second chance. Let's give him a second chance and quit looking at the lies. Let's look at the case. Let's look at what it really is. Like, I just really want people to understand that it's a lot of slander in the media. Yeah. And they just keep doing it. Like, it's not fair. I don't think people understand until it's them or one of their loved ones. What they got to understand is that if they do it to him, they'll do it to somebody else. Like, you can't just take this at face value and go with it.
Yeah.
Like, it's there for you to go look at the case that we're dealing with.
Yeah.
If he was, if all of this stuff happened that they charged him with, that they say he did, he would have been charged with it. They wouldn't just be talking about it. Yeah. They would have gave that to him and added more time onto his situation. Like, I don't know exactly what it is. I have thoughts on what it is, on why my father is so disliked. If you look at all the things that he did for the people, for the youth, for the people that followed him, that changed their lives because of him, I don't see all the I see benefit in him. And he's a changed man. He was 22 when he went away. He is now 74 years old. He's a senior citizen. Like, let a senior citizen come back to the world. This is cruelty, is inhumane. Like, what do we believe in here? Do we not believe in reform? Yeah. Why do you go to jail? Yeah. Are you not rehabilitated? How long does it take to rehabilitate a person? Yeah. From a drug charge? Or from, like I said, the charge where they said that he gave the call that we're dealing with. Why was the guy who pulled the trigger able to come home and he not? Yeah. And they still talking about the charges that he was freed from. Yeah. I don't know. I gotta stay in that direction. Like, we asking for mercy and fairness because we haven't been able to get it. That's just where we at. Yeah. And I'm glad we're hiding the contradictions so we can be real clear what's the real issue. I think back in that press conference when Tupac was saying, wait a minute, how am I being charged? And like, it don't make it, it don't make sense legally. Or a lot of times we say, well, this person must have been a Capricorn or a Virgo. We try to figure out all the ways justified, but the deal is, again, everything's political. This is who was a political prisoner. I want to just even reiterate for those who may just be tuning in with us, who I hope this is an educational process for people for a number of things. One, like even our terms, our words, you know what I'm saying? And see, it's something that if you pay close attention to. I made a comment on our last program that if you go back and look at the situation in regards to the individuals who, January 6th that marched up in the Capitol, Trump never referenced them as prisoners. Even on the campaign, he referenced them as hostages, and even to the point of political prisoners. And something in our community, a lot of times we lack. I be talking to people, they be like, "Okay, you know what I mean, champ." So one woman just really struggled that we really recognize the significance of our words, our terms. You know what I'm saying? And like, listen to some of the media sound bites. You would think you back. I'm talking about. That how they throw the word gang leader, so on and so forth, and we become immune to it. So we got to be like extra heads up. You know what I'm saying? Be conscious of that. And just again, for those who are not clear, like in regards to this commutation and pardon, he was in this in the state prisons, and I think it was 1996 when there was a big sweep. And I recall, I think it was 1996 if I'm correct, and there was references Operation Headache, and when something sticks in my mind, you heard people being locked up in throughout the prisons, the streets were being just swept up, and it was this there was a lot of people heard about what they call the black sites. The black sites was something that became known when a white individual, these are places in Chicago that exist where there was no official police protocol to be acknowledged with. They would take people, you would just disappear. You didn't see the police back, they didn't see the name tags or nothing. And there are areas under this they call the whole sweep, and that people have never seen these individuals again to this day. And this is 1996. But something that U.S. Attorney, I think it was U.S. Attorney Jim Burns had said something like, he said that prepare yourselves for nationwide violence. I said, wow, dig that. And I said, this is something that's by design. I'm talking about, saying, like in a community, like in the family, people say, they're talking like men with the pheromones. You walk in, people can pick up on your energy. You there. You in National Geographic, there was a situation where they showed these elephants was going through. They call musk. You know what I'm saying? Like they weren't no bad elephants. They just started bumping each other.
It's like puberty. They bumping each other. The other elephants say, hey, lock them up. They bogus. They bad. They gang. It's a natural thing. And with the presence of just some male elephants, some bulls being brought there, they had to put their hands on them and the tusk on them. You seen it balanced out the community. You know what I'm saying? And just the aura. So like even we got a discussion about what the purpose of prison. You know what I'm saying? The impact it has on us. And I'm gonna throw this in there real quick too. A brother told me one time. He said, "I never forget you, man." He said, "I remember he said you was kind of going hard. My mother, my mother kept saying when my father went to jail, and you kept on saying no when he was taken to jail." And he said that stuck with me, brother. I said, yeah. He said, because a lot of times the trickle down impact is we're told that our people just abandon us, so on and so forth. This is modern day kidnapping, you know what I'm saying? And as opposed to bonds, it's ransoms. But again, brutal terms of brutal realities, y'all. We live and direct here on Free My Radio, y'all. We talking to Larry Hoover Jr. And I'm looking. In the background, that's Mr. Larry Hoover Sr. And even the physical resemblance. You know what I'm saying? It's for those who just seeing the brother, I know it's uncanny. It's something though. But man, what reiterate to us too? What where we at now? What again? I'm a tag team with you. It's in this the present the prison review board. Does it have to go through the prison review board first, then go to Governor Pritzker?
Okay, so where we at right now is we're trying to reach out to Governor Pritzker. We want everybody to call down there to Springfield, call his office, and go to his Instagram page and let Governor Pritzker know that this is what the people want. He has the ability with the strike of a pen to finish this situation. He has the opportunity to let him out. He's never really done anything like that before. It has to be an extraordinary situation. We believe it is an extraordinary situation because it's hard to get fair treatment. If he doesn't do it, it has to go through the prison review board. But how does the prison review board be able to deal with this situation with all of this slander that they hear? Like, how can they make a fair decision? How can they be fair and impartial? The guy who used to be the head of the prison review board already came out and said that he's not going to be free if it's up to us. He doesn't deserve it. So we need the governor to believe in what he preaches. He preaches reform. So we want him to say that I believe that this guy is reformed. I believe that he is rehabilitated. I believe that he is transformed from the person he used to be. And give him a second chance at life. Let him come home and die with his family. He has more life behind him than he does in front of him. And he deserves a chance. He deserves freedom.
No doubt.
No
doubt.
He's been punished. Like, he's been overly punished.
Yes.
When is it enough? When do you deserve a second chance to see if your punishment worked? Why do they want him to die? The charges don't even equal that. But they want him to die in that jail. And we want him to come home so he can be with his family.
Yes, indeed.
We're not trying to bring him to the guys on the street, although he wants to, that they get to enjoy that this man gets a second chance at life. But we want him to come home to his family. My mother is a senior. He's a senior. His grandchildren are becoming grown. My brother is a grown man. His kids are, growing up in age. Like, it's family here.
Yes.
Like, people seem to forget. They just think about him in the streets. Like, his family here. It's people that love him. Other than, the people that you may think that just love him. Like, he's a real human being. Yeah. They don't see him. They just see him as a symbol. He's a symbol of greatness for us. He's a symbol of evil for them. But he's not evil. That's right. He's a grown. He's a senior citizen. And he's a changed man. And he deserves a chance. Like, let's have some humanity and fairness. Let's give him a second chance. We want Pritzker to do that.
Right on. We need those calls. We need, again, y'all say everything is political, y'all. We need and I tell them they get us caught up in sidetracking, like, well, did you file this? One thing, ain't nothing all good, nothing all bad. This is really showed you, like, with the stroke of a pen, what can happen. You know what I'm saying? So again, we need those call-ins. We need the word. And again, this should be everyday conversation. We don't have the resources. We don't have the machinery that the system and this media outlets have, where they can just constantly bombard you and control the algorithms. You know what I'm saying, with the slander. In the case of Mr. Hoover and our people in general. However, what the Sandinistas said in Latin America, that the will of the people is greater than the man's technology. So again, we do have ears. So you realize that people want to gossip. Man, put this good, what they say in church, that good gossip out. You know what I'm saying? Man, Priska, man, sign that thing. You want to go to Cassie, man, I'm just into doing my poetry. Tie it into your poems. You know what I'm saying? What's Cassie? I'm in the studio. Tied it, we have a thing called a code of culture. The code of culture, we say, it's too many of us in sing for some catchy, we talking some bling bling. Tied into your everyday conversation. You know what I'm saying? Don't stop looking at. They have us like, okay, that's that political stuff. That's that black stuff. Intertwine it. You know what I'm saying? I tell people, like, other communities, when they go to church, it's business deals being made. It's a community. So this should be a conversation. Up the ante. Start, man. Go back and say, man, okay, why I never heard about this? What do you mean by political prisoners? You may feel like, man, Chairman Fred, he be kind of talking fast and throwing words and terms around in plain layman's terms. You know what I'm saying? Man, go back, pull this up. That's up the ante. I mean, it's the difference between being trained and being educated. Man, look at the case. You know what I'm saying? Logically, we can have a discussion like this about talking about, man, they're like a dog of this long. You know what I mean? Literally, you know what I'm saying? It is Peter and everybody else. Hold on. We got a problem here. Man, this case, again, the people support. The lawyers do their thing. Everybody, but the people. I know how important it is. I'm a quote Minister U.E.P. Newton when I was myself as a former political prisoner. When I got out, I said, if it was not for the people, I may have come out of there in the pine box. If come out of there at all. You know what I'm saying? May have come out in the pine box. And y'all go back with the state case. The C number, it's a term called C numbers. These are brothers and I'm sure sisters too that was under, they call indeterminate sentences. 100, 200, how that sound? 100, 200 years. The psychological impact on the federal case, if I'm right there, it was six life sentences on the federal case.
Yeah, it was 6 life sentences, and then 200 years under the indeterminate sentences under the C number, which they trying to pass some laws right now to get rid of the C numbers altogether.
Man.
But they going through it. They still trying to make it rough on some of the guys
that's
in that situation. I guess it's determined on what they did, but when it comes to him, it's like the laws don't mean anything.
Yeah.
Anything that the law states that is in his favor, they just don't go with it. People don't believe it until they until they in that situation. He tells me that when he was in the federal joint and he'd be sitting back there talking to the guys, and the guys that know the law, and they say, well, they can't do that. They can't do that. And he always tell them,
ooh,
they doing it right now. What do you mean they can't do it?
Man.
Like, who gonna stop them? They doing it right now.
I'm sitting like the people be in church waving their hands now. Man. Go ahead.
We need something above the law.
Yeah, man.
That's why we got to keep calling Priska and let them know that we the people, man, this is what we want. Like,
real talk.
It's time.
Real talk.
Why are we being so cruel? Are we that cruel? You know?
Yeah.
As a people, are we that cruel that we want this to go like this?
Yes,
and
indeed.
some people do, but it's inhumane, it's unfair.
Yeah.
Look at the case we dealing with. We're not dealing with any murders. Everybody is, they keep putting about all these murders that he's responsible for. He hasn't been charged with. We're not dealing with any murders. We're dealing with a case from 1973. They are that unfair that they paint a picture that's untrue.
Yeah. Yes,
that's
indeed.
not what we're dealing with. We are dealing with a case from 1973.
That's even long. Some of our viewers even been alive, y'all. Again, do not wait for this to become a safe subject. I mean by that, a lot of times we wait down the road and say, oh man, that was bogus. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, they come out later on, they went to Iraq and they don't say, well, it wasn't weapons of mass destruction. Do not wait. wait to become a safe subject to acknowledge this contradiction. You know what I'm saying? Everything from the resources that the state, you know what I'm saying? They'll tell you that there's a budget crisis. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, what's the hold up then? If you want to just talk about financially, you want to still hold somebody held captive. So, well, he has a family, a home to go to. So, we'll hide these contradictions. And y'all know I've been on the, we've been pushing this, man, again, the cases of Mumia Abu-Jamal, man, release political prison Sunday out of Coley, you name it. I mean, man, but I re-examine these cases. I mean, what's really happening? You say, man, ain't no war on drugs, ain't no war on gangs. It's war on our people, y'all. And if we do not say something, we do not stand up, it could be defined as nothing less than what Minister U.E.P. Newton referred to as reactionary suicide. And we refuse to commit suicide. And if you say, well, what this got to do with me? Man, I tell people I'm reconnected. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. You know, I mean, if you don't even know the person, I mean, directly, but you can just look at, I mean, just the look at, I deal with the real world. We deal with the real world. A lot of people say, well, man, I studied look at social media, the people who are very apolitical, who don't want to have no discussion about political prisons. Where look at, I mean, you would think like, okay, man, this is something people who previously didn't want to read, don't want to get involved in politics. And I mean, just the discussions that are happening. People are just talking about pardons, commutations, what's going on in the prison. I mean, it's a whole, and actually, it's a different, like a aura, you know what I'm saying? People, it's inspiring people to have, you know what I'm saying, our communities, no slight on a lot of the people, the organizations and representatives that this system gives us, but no, it is slight on them. Let me say this point blank. This system gives us a lot of these GMO organizations, government-made organizations. They give us, they put up people who say this is your person you should relate to, who we can't relate. They people can't find the hood with a GPS map. You know what I'm saying? They cannot connect to us. They are incapable of relating to us. You know what I'm saying? We struggle. You know what I'm saying? Mistakes and all, scars and bars. Let us, man. There are certain forces that we can connect to. You know what I'm saying? That relate to us. Don't, man. All these state sanctioned spokesperson they give us, it just ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? I know people who have learned so much about the law, you know what I'm saying? Just even with studying his case, you know what I'm saying? In regards to not just even recently, but historically, y'all. So we need, again, y'all, we need y'all to up the ante. You know what I'm saying? Again, had this a conversation about this case of Mr. Larry Hoover. And y'all know I was just free them all, you know what I'm saying? But again, my brother, anything else you want to add to it?
No, I just want to just throw out there, man, we need to keep reaching out to the governor. We need him to make that call. We don't need to let this go to the parole board.
Right, yeah.
Because we want fairness. And
yes.
At this point, we haven't seen fairness out of them.
Yes.
Maybe they have it in them. Maybe they have some God and some love in their heart that they can find fairness. I hope that they can. But Governor Pritzker needs to have
yes, the
love and the God in his heart and show that he really believes in reform and do this thing. It would be a blessing. It would be a blessing to me, to my family, and to the people.
Yes, it will. Know? I want to reiterate that, y'all. Again, hey man, and Governor Pritzker. I mean, cause we don't want to get involved in no filibustering, no sidetracking. You know, wait till next turn come around. You know what I'm saying? You know what's going. Hey, point, man, up. This ain't, man. That pen ain't hard to find. You know what I'm saying? Let's make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Because again, our community, they sidetrack us, get us running around in circles. Man, again, so he's 72, 74 years old.
74. 75 this year.
November. Yep. He'll be 75, and which is, I mean, that's a feat. And itself, and I mean, in our community, I mean, a lot of people, they say that you talking about in dog years. I see, you distinguish. I see with black people years, you got to distinguish our time for us to be alive at a certain period, less long to be inside those concentration camps. That's a whole nother number. Then add to that the psychological impact. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, a lot of people say that, that basically that he lived a long time, but he's been living in hell for these years.
Real talk.
He's been tortured.
Yes, he has. Yes.
Nobody wants to live being tortured for these years.
Real talk.
Like that.
Real talk. Real talk. Free Mr. Larry Hoover, free them all. Yes, indeed. Brother, hey man, you gonna keep us updated. You like to stay on with us, man. I know, man. I'm glad to see you the other day, and we gonna do what we do. This man, this is our duty, y'all, as a people. Real talk. It's our duty as a people. Okay. Larry, you gonna stick with us? You gonna make a move? You gonna stick with us?
How long we gonna be on here? I got some things to take care of.
Go ahead, take it. I ain't gonna hold you. When you gotta go.
Y'all have me on here.
Man, no, hey man, hey, this is our duty to have you on here, my brother. You know what I'm saying? I had to reach out to you. You know what I'm saying? So whenever you gotta bounce, I'm gonna have some more people call in, tell me some different subject matter. But you here, I might catch you a couple of questions, but don't trip if you gotta bounce. We're gonna get you back on it for sure.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I'm gonna keep you updated on what's going on.
Right on, my brother. Love, so stick with us until you gotta go. Love, right on, free them all.
Yes,
Love and respect. We're speaking about the case of Mr. Larry. Who are we gonna talk? Again, if y'all can't go past certain areas, this might not be the ride for you. I'm gonna pull up on New Orleans in a minute. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna bounce around to Tulsa, Oklahoma again. You did. And again, we might go international. We ride. You know what I'm saying? We ain't tripping. We ain't set tripping. We ain't caught up in no colonial borders. You know, I tell people, so what they got to do with you? A reporter asked me once. He said, "Man, we be seeing you. You be in Ireland speaking. You be in Africa. How do you connect with the people?" I say, "Hey, I don't speak. I don't code switch. I'm up front. You know what I'm saying?" And a brother from Paris, France, came by the Hampton House the other day. He was saying, "Excuse me, my English is not good." I said, "Don't trip mine either. It's a bastard language to all of us." You know what I'm saying? It's real talk. I mentioned New Orleans. We're gonna touch that in a minute too. But again, I'm gonna tell this not you hear these terms, you hear these names, especially in Chicago growing up, whether it be the Willie Lords, the Jeff Fords, Larry Hoover, so on and so forth, and the state. I mean, you think the propaganda is heavy now. You go back and look at some of the old news clips, you be like, damn, I can't believe they said that. You know what I'm saying? I remember in a court case one time, I was sitting in court, and somebody said that this person got a phone call from Jeff Ford, and automatically everybody like, what? And then the lawyer came and said, "Excuse me, does he have a family?" Because they even talking about family. But I said, damn, he does such a job that you hear these names, you be like, man, Boogie, you know what I'm saying? Like Boogeyman. Again, the propaganda. I'm gonna say this, I'm talking about like the impact on people, and the direct and indirect impact on the community, Got a brother in with us now. We want to talk about, you never know who you impact. I just did spoke at an event recently, and this young brother, Yaya, I commended him for talking these different. I said, man, it's good. It's a phenomenal event you got. I mean, it was representation from all over the streets. He said, Chairman, do you really remember me? I said, oh, yeah. He said, no. He said, remember me. He said, you used to have these political education classes on 55th and Paulina in the basement of a church. I would come in the basement, and as a child, and I would watch you and listen to you. He said, that impacted me. You did. You never know who you impact. You know what I'm saying? So be heads up on that. I tell people when I go out of town to speak to Tim, we got to go back. I said, no, I don't. I can look at myself growing up. You know what I'm saying? I said, I learned Chairman Frey. I learned lessons from his legend on what a man was supposed to be. I also had a community. You know what I'm saying? Brothers and sisters. I can, our ear hustle, listen, guys burning wood around the garbage can, staying warm, learning all that. But you can introduce yourself. Welcome. Well, first of all, welcome to Freedom on Radio.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I want you to. We talking about this case. You know what I'm saying? Y'all again. We want to. I want y'all feel free to tap in with some. I want to call these war stories and love stories. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times you see in the vision, you just think we automatically are here. And you put stuff in context, like Tupac said, "Rose that grew from concrete." You see people say, "Oh, that's cool, man. You went to school, you got this and that." You say, "No, it ain't just." You kind of saying it nonchalantly. You don't know, you know what I'm saying, the situation. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. And a lot of times people talk about these street organizations and like he just popped about a vacuum. You know what I'm saying. Not putting it in context. You know what I'm saying. What's going on in our communities and what impacted you. I'm gonna let you take it for yourself, brother.
Yes, sir. What's up, everybody? My name Mike Larry, baby. And Chairman, we talking about impact.
Yeah.
Larry Hoover impacted my life greatly because I'm one of the seeds that he planted that'll grow a lifetime. Like I was born in custody. My mom was in jail when she had me. I grew up without a father. I grew up without the proper understanding with that undeveloped mind, you succumb to your surroundings.
Yeah.
You know, and you dive into the streets.
Yeah.
You dive into the things that entice you. All the things that's enticing to us are mostly the things that's bad to us when we don't have that guidance.
Yeah.
But when I got a hold of that information, it's information, opportunity, and exposure that created a different lifestyle for me.
Yeah.
It switched that light switch in my head to understand it ain't about the streets, it's about community.
Yeah.
It's about building and being a pillar in your community at all times and standing on that as a man and getting that information while you're young, while you in those adolescence stages. That's when it's critical. So that's why it's so important for us to get people like Larry Hoover out of jail, because it's so many of us. He probably birthed more college graduates than anything. You know, like I'm a product of that. You know, once I got that information, I changed my entire way of thinking and changed it and actually implemented it in my life. And it switched. My whole entire life switched. I went from being a 2-time felon to going to school and getting a degree, because I knew that information, education was a key to I had to be a pillar to come back and give that education to the next person.
Yeah.
So we can not only win, but we got to lift as we climb, you know. And I feel like it's so many young men like me that we can fight against all of this propaganda that's putting out about Larry Hoover by taking over these social platforms. We can really get out here and do our thing. If you ask the average guy from Inglewood or the average young man from our neighborhoods, he gonna tell you like, yeah, we look up to Larry Hoover. Larry Hoover has put it in our head that we can have growth and we can have development and we can be exactly who we need to be and standing on them principles. You know, so it's like my whole entire life, and it's crazy because Governor Pritzker, he gave me a second chance. He the one that got my mom and Colonel Eugene Scott, who ran the Bud Billiken Parade. I met him at the Bud Billiken Parade, and he told me, I told him my story. I say, hey man, I got these felonies. I can't even get a summer job.
Yeah.
You know, everybody going to work, going to get those Walmart jobs. I gotta do something else. I don't want to go back to the streets and do anything. I want to change my life. I need a fair shot. And he the one that gave me the information and walked me through all the steps to get my felonies expunged. Him personally. So he believes in the redemption. Man, it's just time to show it. You know, he's a father, he's a leader, and he's a man of his word. So I'm pretty sure he believes in Larry Hoover just like we do. Because I'm an example of that redemption story. So we gonna keep asking them. We gonna keep showing up. We gonna keep making sure that we standing on business for to get these people to understand that we need our leaders who look like us and been through the things that we've been through and can actually give us the information to be an example of turning your life around. Hey, I've been here. You know, I'm a bridge builder. You ain't got to fall in that hole. I can be that bridge builder for you, you know, and that's what we doing with this Obey Your Dreams thing. Like, all of us understand how important it is to reach out to Governor Pritzker. We reaching out to our family members. We reaching out to everybody. My mom, Colonel Eugene Scott, they're backing us as well. So we really trying to create a difference, and we have to use the times now. We have to use what they're using to create that negative propaganda against them.
Technology,
you know,
exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of times in cases want to use it for partying and bullshit, but we got up there and
Yeah, and it's okay to speak about it.
Yeah. How old are you, bro?
I'm 34.
34. It was triggering when you said like when you were literally born inside the jail.
Yeah.
I said another time myself. One of my colleagues to the Tupac and Morris Shakur, Mike Africa with the Move family. Mike Africa was he was born in jail. The Move and Move is the organization which the government dropped the bomb on May 13th, 1985 in Osage Avenue. He was born in prison. Me and Park came close to be born inside the prison. And that's something, the impact on that, you know. I forgot to turn the I forgot this term. Epidemic. I don't know. Some say this wrong. This term. It goes into study like how what impacts you as a child.
Yeah.
Epidemiology. I know I'm saying this wrong, but it's it wasn't until after the release of the movie Judas and the Black Messiah, we was having some conversation. Me and my mother, it dawned on me and my mother that me and her to this very day, we wake up every morning at around 4:30 a.m. in the morning. This is when the assassination occurred. When they came to assassinate Chairman for Independence and Lamar Clark. So even with that, and this, like you said, I mean, you talking about like going against all odds. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because you can look at studies. They talking about like even the foster care, the Department of Children and Family Services. It's like literally laid out for you. You know what I'm saying? For you to be locked back up.
Facts.
How even some of the misnomers and incorrect narrative, like some people they hear the word again, the names of Mr. Hoover, Mr. Ford, and the likes, and he's automatically had this been like rah rah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna kill you because you got these colors on. So
exactly.
But you I mean, there's some of the I mean, I know about some of the things about like you got to go to school in the joints by the GEDs. Make sure you get your GED.
I dropped out of high school. So when I was in the street on the street level,
I said GED. So I'm a lot of people like, how you got to become a GED?
Yeah,
this was at the time with the GEDs. I remember this, you know what I'm saying, about the GED.
So I dropped out of high school and ended up getting my GED. But when you surrounded by people that don't have the correct information, you go down a path of being misled. Yeah. So when people was going with the gangster disciple notion of how you should be in the streets or how you should be, then that's when we was kind of lost. Until you adapted that growth and development, you really ain't become what you were supposed to become. Because we all got to be staples in this community. Yeah. We all got to have wisdom, knowledge, and understanding with everything that we do. Yeah. He taught us how to think. Yeah. How you think creates how you feel. How you feel becomes an emotion. That emotion becomes a frequency that attracts good or bad things to you. Yeah. So you got to realize like who you are, and it starts in your mind. Yeah. And with that type of information, it's going to allow you to have an identity. Yeah. It's going to allow you to understand how to be in this world as a man, as a righteous man. Yeah.
I want to say this too. I want to add this because a lot of times, with our people, things this intent, even some, you'll notice even the media, some of the pictures they show of Mr. Hoover, even the jail pictures be, and you have to put stuff in context of time, location. Like I was showing this brother one time in regards to Minister UEP Newton. Visionary co-founder of the Black Panther Party, and the guy he said, I heard that he was getting high, whatever. I said, let me attempt to put stuff in context of time with you, brother. I say, you talking about the time period. I mean, it was from everybody from Hollywood, the streets, how it was popular. You know what I'm saying?
Smoking weed now.
Exactly. But so what they do with our people, I tell them, they take them. I remember this, I was in an interview and Ice-T came on and I said, I disagree with a lot of stuff. So one thing I like what you said, it was on our Arsenio Hall show, and they had showed this picture of Ice-T and everybody, the audience started laughing, the clothes he had on. He said, what were y'all wearing around that time y'all came to see me? And the whole audience got quiet. You know what I'm saying? You can take an old picture, everybody, you stick it out, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, look at them. Like, what year was that again? So that's important too, to put stuff in, you know what I'm saying? That knowledge of Park said, rose that grew from concrete. What you reckon? I have an issue with the term. People say we all got choices. I said, I don't really agree with that. I mean, it's something to be colonized, you have to be oppressed, you know what I'm saying? And that's a different dynamic. How you talk about how it impacted you, like even how outside of you, like people you deal with, you know what I'm saying? What are some of the things they said that they recognize about, how they can tell the differences with you, you know what I'm saying? What are some of the examples?
The examples is
before and after, like even become, you know what I'm saying, and being familiarized with Mr. Hoover, you know what I'm saying? What some of the,
so to be a good leader, you got to be a great follower, So even when I made that transition, I was always a good leader. So even when I made that transition, I was able to take them same leadership skills and put it in a positive direction. So people don't have the information is why they're still doing the same cycles over and over. So when they see somebody like theyself and they be like, damn, that's a trend. who are you? You
Yeah,
know what I mean? They
yeah.
got to re-meet you again, and they
Yeah.
got to re-understand what's going on, and they have to make a choice to be like, oh, his life has drastically changed
Yeah.
for the better.
Yeah.
You know, so it's an instant connection, because I still understand where we come from,
Yeah.
and I can also understand where we going.
Yeah.
So when I come around back to the neighborhoods, I can get them information, opportunity, and exposure to change them. Here, put this camera in your hand.
Yeah.
Here, put this how to make shirts, how to start your own business, how to start your non-for-profit, how to create. We create art that matters for people who care. So we big on community. So when you put these same terms in another term to make sure people understand it, then it gets a little easier for people to attach themselves in a positive way towards you.
You are you trigger something too about information. The Black Panther Party say information is raw material for new ideas.
Yeah.
So help me out with what brings us to speed. You know what I'm saying? Okay, obey your dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you and the sister got that. You know what I'm saying? But what's happening with it? Enlighten us.
For sure. We manifest our dreams into reality. So everything starts as a thought, and then we work. So don't nothing work but work. And you got to be able to understand that by actually starting from ground zero, doing a purpose finder. So we go in the hoods and where we do our community service and stuff at, we lay a map out for them. Hey, write 10 things down you like to do. Circle 3 of them that you can't do, that you would do for the rest of your life. That's your purpose. If you would do it for free, then you would do it for the long as you live.
Yeah.
And that's how you find your purpose. Once you find your purpose, it ain't no GPS for this journey. You got to put the work in. You got to understand, where am I starting at ground one?
Yeah.
And then going from them steps on up.
Yeah.
So we teach them how to do that. We teach them how to start their own business. So entrepreneurship. We teach them. We're big on mentorship, and we give them that exposure. So we taking some of the young guys from the neighborhood, and we taking them to the Sky Game where they can be on the court, meet some of the celebrities, meet some of their favorite people, and get that exposure, because they might want to hoop. They want to get that feeling. And that's the best way to teach. I got to show you something different. I can't just be talking. You got to have something for these guys. Otherwise, it's going to go through one ear and out the other, and obey your dreams. I spit that in my music. So I always lead with the art, because a creative can touch more people than the average human being. You put it in the music, it's super a universal language. So no matter what color, no matter what, they can feel our pain if we put it out there. That's why when you said put it in the music, put it in the post, put it in that. Oh, we on top of that.
Okay,
we
gonna
get
got
busy.
the thing we call the Black Panther Party Cub Code of Culture. I need you on deck for a few things. But August 30th, we're gonna be the annual Chairman Fred Streets party. Need you there. You know what I'm saying? Give us some contact. You know what I'm saying? We can get in contact with y'all.
Yeah, it's Mike Larry Baby _OID on every platform. And you can follow all my whole team, Obey Your Dreams TV on Instagram. Shout out to Vanna, shout out to Bobby, shout out to Glenn, shout out to Damo, Keisha, shout out to my VP right here, Didi. She got a hell of a story. She come from a similar background like us, man. Been shot, stabbed, all type of stuff that, and been able to overcome as a single mother. So like we really pushing and we representing all of the struggles that our people go through, and we standing on business by showing that you can still win. It's never too late to win.
I'm glad you with the sister and the sister, just I was saying, like, even you can see like how the system got it set up now. Even with the brothers and sisters, they got it set up like it's a war. Like the men are the ops for the women and vice versa. You know what I'm saying?
Put man versus woman to help with the sales. They selling that to us.
And destroying.
We need each other.
Real talk. And then in Pakistan, I was in Africa recently, and I was coming out this store, and I talked about this sister. She was getting out the car, and she had the baby on her. and the baby was, I'm like holding her, and the brother, when he got out the car, he driving, he not even looking. He like her wrap. She had like a the wrap she had. He hit it the wrap, and they were like the wrap went around, and the baby knew, like the baby. I'm telling you, the baby knew what was going on. I mean, it was like all it was missing was the music. I mean, it was so beautiful. I mean, like I was like, man, you know,
they on one chord,
in harmony.
One
you know what I'm saying?
accord.
He even looked, and he walked. He got the car. You know, he hit the thing, and it was like I said, whoa,
bro.
I said, man, they one of America's policies is to create chaos and then restore order.
Yep.
And then we, you know what I'm saying, it's embarrassing being oppressed. And I tell we try to jive ourselves like, you know, I don't need no man, I don't need no woman. You know, not just even, not even the value to like, they have a thing like we's a bunch of rhesus monkey. We got to be in bed with every damn body. Just even the relationship of the balance. You know what I'm saying? The aura. You know what I'm saying? I tell people, so we was growing up. I mean, that kind of helped your backbone. Your sisters like, you going for that? You know, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Even in my genre, you know, a freedom fighter, I tell brothers, I say, listen, man, you might got to be in the foxhole. You know, getting down with the sister. I mean, not without getting down with it. You know what I'm saying? And that balance, you know what I'm saying? So I'm glad to see that, you know, in this
protection of womanhood, man.
Yeah.
Men gotta be men.
Yeah.
We
and not the expense of each other. See, they tell us one cut. See, I tell you, we come from the
No, you good.
Sheikh Anta Diop talks about how we come from a society we can work in harmony with nature. The men and women can work in harmony. We subjected to a different society. This society tell you one cause at the expense of another. You know what I'm saying? No, I got to be a man. I got to come in. I got to chop your tree down for my tree to grow. You know what I'm saying? Men against women, vice. You know what I'm saying? There can be contradictions. You know what I'm saying? Without necessarily becoming antagonistic contradictions. That's the cloth we cut from. Yeah,
it definitely is. It's so powerful when we together and on one accord. That's what they do. They understand that separate. We're at our weakest.
Yes, indeed.
Because they all these programs they didn't put in place to separate the black man from the black woman. You know, with the Section 8 and you can't be in the house and all of those type of programs. They've been doing this, you know, and it is strategic, and we just gotta combat it by showing each other love, you know, and showing up for each other. Stop talking, get busy.
You at the Claude, the movie, I got to throw this in there. Claudine, the movie Claudine. James Earl Jones, and Diane Carroll. I'm gonna start doing this.
Classic.
I gotta talk to my team too, Mary and everybody. Nate, I'm gonna start doing these movie reviews too. You know what I'm saying? But Claudine, y'all, James Earl Jones and Diane Carroll, man, mandatory is hell, man.
Long live brother Earl.
Yeah. Check that movie out, y'all. Yeah. What? Okay. Anything else I'm missing, my brother, my sister?
Man,
y'all forgive me. I've been caught up so much. Hey, if I miss some of the questions or comments, y'all forgive me. I'm saying the energy is good. Y'all tapping in, reshare this, repost this, make sure you get these contacts down. You know what I'm saying? We want to up the ante. You know what I'm saying? We say, hey, when opportunity knocks, snatch the door off the hinges. This discussion is even happening. The cases of Mr. Hoover, Mr. Ford, Mumia Abu Jamal, you know what I'm saying? C numbers in general, your cousin, the sister down the street, our people, you know what I'm saying? Man,
free all of them.
Free them all.
Free them all.
I just got something to say really quickly. You know, growing up in the city of Chicago, being shot 5 times, and the guy that shot me got 18 years, but only did 9. You know, he got out, second chance, right? Yeah. And I get to see him. So it's like, and then I'm listening to growing up, and my family was Gangster Disciples, you know, but we was a community back then. When you became a Gangster Disciple, it was like I wanted to be one so bad because they had fun together, they ran together. We was a family. So just looking at that now, and I'm like, wait a minute, how somebody serving 52 years in prison, and you say reform, right? I had a bad background, right? But that was due to what happened to me in the streets of Chicago. So I kind of like changed my ways and the way I thought because of what happened to me. And I feel like, why this happened to me? You know? So it took me to the streets, you know, and it was things I didn't even do. It was because somebody said I did it. And I ended up in prison because somebody said it. So you're guilty before you innocent. So they say innocent until proven guilty. That's a lie.
Vice versa.
It's vice versa for us. For us.
Let me be clear. Let me be clear. Because I tell people through this blanket, I got into it with my high school teacher. I think I was a sophomore. I'm back there now. And she said she's going to my man crying, destroyed the earth. And I said, whoa, miss. I said, hold on. She said, what you mean? You guys want to say again, Mr. Hampton? I said, yeah. White man can. Don't be blaming them. Don't be indicting us for that. We ain't did nothing. We ain't to them. So let me be very. Richard Pryor said he went to the courtroom looking for justice. And that's what he found. Just us. So it's real talk. So it's a different. But yeah, so let me go ahead.
Yeah. So it was a hard knock life.
Yeah.
But I decided to make a change. I didn't have the family to push me and say you could do this. I learned on my own that I have to be the one stand up for myself, you know. And that's why I joined Obey Your Dreams, because I started to obey my dreams. I didn't need nobody else to push me, to tell me to do anything. All I had to do was just push myself. And just to piggyback on my background being sealed, they wouldn't even take my background off. And so when they sealed it, I was excited. But the police and everybody else could see it. The school could see it. I always wanted to be a teacher. Couldn't become a teacher. Couldn't be around kids or nothing.
Yeah.
Because the gun wasn't even mine. I was in the car and they had the gun underneath my seat. So I ended up in jail for something that wasn't even mine because I was sitting in that seat. So, I mean, like I stated earlier, you are guilty until proven innocent. Ended up in jail. You know, they moved me from Cook County to another unit. It was ridiculous. And I felt like I didn't deserve it. But guess what? I gave myself a second chance.
Right on.
I feel like
right on.
That's so critical because my whole team is full of the redemption story.
Yeah.
My best friend, he just got out. He did 10 years. Now he's one of the leaders of videography in this field. My cousin who's sitting over there, Damo, he's been in prison. You know, he's our CMO of Obey Your Dreams. You know, so like these are stories who need to be told. These stories need to be told because you can make a change.
Yeah,
you can make a change if given the opportunity. Though.
Yeah,
you know, so Hoover has to get an opportunity to show and prove what he's saying, what everybody believes is true, because it is. You don't plant these many seeds and get these many flowers in the world.
Come on with it.
And not be great.
Come on with it. Yeah, we live and direct on Freedom Radio here at Intellectual Radio, making history, taking history, and taping history. You know what I'm saying? We move on a pivot a lot of times, and see even discussion. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't plan on even with the brother and our sister here, you know. But this is this is something that's too common. It's all too our community. A lot of times, like even I'm thinking back, I'm hearing you being in prison. It's things like you talk about even organizations disconnected from our reality. Like you come in jail doing stuff like just soap and food, you know what I'm saying? Products you need. You have, you know what I'm saying, the organization down there. You know, if it weren't for that, the prison administration, all that stuff, they get budgets for that. You're not getting that. You know what I'm saying? You come to, they have the GD, the Vice Lords, the Stones, the pole boxes. You come in, you know what I'm saying? It sounds real it don't sound, it is real judgmental and dogma, elitism. I don't understand what, it's not, being organized is not something that's foreign. I tell people, say, we had tribes in Africa, so on and so forth. This system, they take it and see, they take a phenomenon, organizations. In Chicago, it's a big thing. And we impacted by who we colonized by. In other words, we are impacted by the dailies and the Capones. Yeah, the dailies and the Capone. We are impacted by that. Like in Brazil, people see in Brazil how they still dance, like they're beating. People say, that's cool. No, you are impacted because the Portuguese had never outlawed the drum, as opposed to North America made the drum illegal. So you impacted by whoever you colonized by. You feel what I'm saying? And that dynamic of structure, organization. One of America's policies is to create chaos and then restore order. And sometimes that's attractive. Say, oh yeah, just get rid of all that. I got people now who be telling me that, like, I wish to God them organizations were still around. The structure that was here, you know, because America, they go to Iraq and they'll say, there's no difference between the Shiites and the Sunni Muslims. You know what I'm saying? They destroy the structure. You know, so you got chaos. Even U.S. President Trump was just talking about Libya right now. He would just say, man, You get the chaos you got going on in Libya right now. They dismantle places. Then they selling stuff that they come to the community because they're concerned for they want to stop crime. Man, who goes for that snake oil? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You think even well, they don't know they don't want Mr. Hoover back out or Mr. Ford. They don't need them people because they concerned about our communities. That's more
fake.
ludicrous than the situation. See, we got to up the ante soon. We hear it. Like I don't know if y'all hear the Captain Ibrahim Traoré. That's man. Okay, this you hear to him? He's in Burkina Faso in Africa.
Is this the guy fighting for the rights for black people?
Yeah,
Like
they
say he being
Yeah,
racist. They say he flipping it.
Look, but soon as they the AFRICOM with probably another. Hey, it's hard for me to say, watch my mouth. I was so even repeating this nonsense. They'd say something like, "Well, they concerned that he's using the money incorrectly." Who is this is the U.S. saying this? And as soon as he said that, and he threw out Captain Ibrahim Traoré's name, automatically people responded. They say all over the world, France, they said, no, don't put your hands on him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how it gotta be.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? See, this system is Machiavellian, we call a sidetracking of the slave. They'll beat Rodney King, and the question to be, was he speeding or not?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In Detroit, when they killed his brother named Malice Green, the people said,
Facts.
the police said, well, we gonna get back to y'all. We think he was half crack. People said, we don't care if he was half heroin.
You hear me?
Right.
Don't connect them police to see how this goes.
Don't put your hands on.
You get, man, when I was locked up, we said free Fred Hampton Jr. Free Fred, exclamation point, no comma, no, you know what I'm saying? Because once you get open door for them, like,
the slide in.
I use this knowledge. Just say, you go catch a girl at the hotel, your girl catch you at the hotel, she pull up on you, you know what I'm saying? What you doing? You flip the script on her, like, what you doing riding around with Sharon? You know what I'm saying? So now the table's on her, you know what I'm saying? And that's what they do to our people. I remember back even the Staple Road there who was going up. It was questioned like all of a sudden on TV, they started asking children who was asking cases in the streets and shootings happen. All of a sudden they started reporting them as GDs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Chicago's most notorious street gang. I said, Dad, every week it switch up what's the most notorious street gang. But it was the propaganda.
Yeah.
They built up.
It's insane.
They Captain Ibrahim Traoré and Burkina Faso used to be named Opal Voltaire, which really meant the bottom of the earth. You know what I mean? Like, different countries go grab them and use them to fight their battles, so on and so forth. Brother named Thomas Sankara was over there. He changed the name. They assassinated him 38 years ago. And the Captain Ibrahim Traoré, that's where he born at. He was impacted by that.
Yeah.
And man, watch it when he walk in, his whole stand up, man, Nigel, it's contagious. It's a different feeling.
It's an energy.
It's
a frequency.
It's a frequency, man.
Like that's the thing. We need to all get on one frequency.
Come on, man.
You know that it's important that we do group economics. It's important that we look out for each other because everybody else do it. Those who rule make the rules.
Come on, man.
So if we can all get together, even just in these, like I'm all about coalition, creating. Like Obey Your Dreams is Obey Your Dreams, but Didi is life entertainment. You know, it's all connected. You know, you can still do your thing. You see what I'm saying?
Ain't no pissing contest.
So,
man,
exactly.
Real talk.
Kill the ego.
Man.
Be a help.
Man.
Service is the highest form. That's the only thing we're here for. That's what Obey Your Dreams is. Service. We're here to serve in every fashion and form we possibly can.
Right on.
We'll keep God first and keep moving.
That produces a different individuals that service. You know what I'm saying? And this is a situation. A few years back, we're doing a march in Inglewood. First of all, Clint Fist salute to the one we just had the other day. Percy, man, Boxdale, Lil Larry, everybody. I mean, the energy was up to 10. I mean, up the hinge. A few years back, we coming down Halsted. Ironically, around I mentioned this the other day, the same area where Mr. Hoover was at, you know what I'm saying? It's ironically. So in our place, it's in the soil, it's in the, you know what I'm saying? It's in the ground. Y'all get to touch it, throw a little water on it, you know what I'm saying? So what we do, we coming through there, and so there's a couple of young brothers on the new with me. They knew. So we coming down and they'll say march, and then these other brothers who noticed they would the term I'm gonna use, they would demoralize, not dope fiends. You know what I'm saying? So we have to be conscious of our terms. They would demoralize. So they demoralized, they come over there. So one of them, they said, what's going on? So these cats, they demoralized, and one of them said, free Jeff Ford. And the other said, man, free Larry Hoover. And they start like literally, You could see like, man,
Mm-hmm.
it was like a clean,
Like energy just get breathing
You can see
in.
them, I mean, like clean. They back start standing up.
Mhm.
They're going back to a period of time. So then it got a little bumping. Like, you know, like
Yeah.
I said about them elephants going through muscle. So they get like hollering louder. One of them saying free Jeff Ford, another saying free Larry Hoover.
Yeah.
And so the brother with me said, Chairman, I said, be cool, man. Let it happen. You ain't gonna stop. Stop all the time thinking, you know what I'm saying? We just a bunch of kill 'em up shoes, man. I said, man,
Right.
we can have
you gotta identify
let
with
it come up. Let it come. So you can feel it. So it became contagious. You know what I'm saying? So the march, youngsters started coming out the house. You know what I'm saying? They like, man, they seeing these guys. These youngsters, they didn't know the name, but they used to watch it indirectly.
Yeah.
What's making these dudes stand up? I'm talking, they shaking them. You can literally just see like a cleansing process. They man, free Jeff Ford, free Larry Hoover. Got them to that point. They get to the end. So man, so they get to the end. Man, we hit them with that mattress, free them all.
Yeah.
Man, man, it was so, man, I mean, it was intense. It
I
was
get
energy.
it.
It
Hey.
was off the chain, man.
Make sure you invite me to the next.
Oh, no doubt about it. We on your heels, man.
We right there. I'm from 70th and Sangamon, 69th and Morgan.
Man, I'm there with and we gonna come to the thing out west. We this August 30th. We gonna get the Chairman Fred street sign there in his honor. We ain't set trip. We can't afford. We in the South Side, West
Side,
everywhere. You know what I'm saying? We can't afford the luxury to even say, man, I don't fool with them guys. You know what I'm saying?
No.
You know, real talk, man.
No. My best friend was an MC. So like we from everywhere.
And we can have
Chicago.
The Black Panther Party say differences amongst the people are reconcilable. Difference between the people and the system are irreconcilable.
Facts.
I can work that out, man. You get into about the set over there. Like, we can figure that out.
Right.
But ain't no forgiving no system that had, you know what I'm saying, 18-year-old ladies and sisters in Cook County Jail forced to rinse out their sanitary napkins. Ain't no forgiving that. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no forgiving that. Ain't no forgiving no system, you know what I'm saying? They got these C numbers, you know what I'm saying, held captive, you know what I'm saying, for decades. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no forgiving that.
Yep.
That's right.
We here to make the change.
Yes, indeed. Y'all, we live and direct in the spirit of making history, taking history, taping history down to the countdown a few more minutes. Y'all see, we didn't hear Burkina Faso, we didn't Tulsa. Now, the mayor said that the descendants of the Black Wall Street, and I tell people, we don't get it twisted. We say we save our money, we'll be all right. No, we done it before. This old saying, whenever black folks rub two nickels together make a dime, white folks gonna make it a crime. Tulsa, you got examples where we done stood up and got our economics together, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep on moving, but let's be clear, y'all. And anytime unity or stand up is gonna be always an attack. But we ain't singing the blues, we're gonna be very clear, y'all. Our best security is the people, y'all. That's our best security. In the work, I say with these cases, I want you to understand that's our homework assignments. Tying these cases, some of the names I've given you, some of the names I have not given you. You know what I'm saying? To acknowledge, even the question of political prisoners. I mentioned all this other show. They have a thing around quote unquote Thanksgiving. They would come out, it's a big issue about these turkeys. You know what I'm saying? They say President Obama has pardoned turkeys. You never even hear that we even have political prisoners in our community. And why is it such an issue about even acknowledge that? Years back, Andrew Young, I forget what his position was then. He said the U.S. has political prisoners. They corrected him so quick, he came back and said, no, I made a mistake. You know what I'm saying? They don't exist. Yep. Malcolm X said America's democracy is an hypocrisy. It's a facade. It's a front of freedom. You know what I'm saying? I remember they had Hillary Clinton. She was Bill Clinton was in office then. I remember this image of her and her daughter standing in Robben Island prison. Nelson Mandela was there, and he was talking about how horrible this was that this man did 27 years. I'm like, wait a minute. What, ain't this something? You tripping out over? Hey, I said, well, imagine it.
You hear me?
I said, and when they went to Cuba, they tried to question the Cuban administration. Do they have political prisoners? Cuba's like, hold on, wait a minute. Are you asking me? Y'all charging us with something? And see, the deal is what's good about this era. It's a raw reality. Your dude put a cover, so he said, hey, it's not that you got to be forced to come on with it. You know what I'm saying? Because these euphemisms and like I say, hey, no filibustering, Governor Pritzker, man, all the niceties, not the people come through with it, do man. This case, man, hey, man, hey, that pen,
the
pen should be hard to find.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
no, it's right there. It's right
you
there
know
in front of you.
Yeah, it's a grab a pen.
Use it.
Man, use it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, get up again. Everything. So tie this into y'all tie this into our conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Our poetry, our songs, the season times kicking in. You know what I'm saying? It produces a different sort of people, y'all.
Yeah, I'm gonna wear a free Larry Hoover shirt at
Man.
I'm performing at Lollapalooza this year.
Oh,
so
man, this is Minister. People say our people do not read as much as we would like for them to read.
Mm-hmm.
So we said we got to become innovative. You know what I'm saying? We got tied in. Well, that's that political stuff. I mean, it become a way of life. You know what I'm saying? How, you know what I'm saying? We talk in our discussions. You know what I'm saying? Not just that. With the February come around, Black History, but we say we on the verge of becoming history. We got tied into. You got to become a wisdom. There's a difference between a war and a revolution. War, you have your respective armies. You suit up and you boot up and you get out to get out. Revolution, you gain the minds and participation of the masses of the people.
It's a way of life.
It's a way of life. You know what I'm saying? In the 60s, the Black Power movement of the 60s, the ante was up. It was a different sort of entertainer. Nipsey Russell. He talked about when he met my mother. She was on the finance committee with the Black Panther Party. He talked about, he kind of embellished the story. He say, here she comes, she pregnant. She was pregnant. And she was talking about donation stuff. And he say, she got these bullets across her chest. She had them. He say, I told her, I ain't got no money for nobody to be buying no guns. So I took that envelope and threw it under the door for the free breakfast program. You know what I'm saying? It was a different. Richard Pryor, when he met Chairman Fred, had to donate to the Panther. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was a different sort of climb. You know what I'm saying? The ante was up. You see where the devil disciples came, the black disciples, the Black Stone Rangers, the Black Peace Stone Nation. You know what I'm saying? People say, well, I ain't no revolutionary, but everybody had to at least come in a revolutionary act.
Yeah.
It was a climate with children. Children in particular, but our people was clear on what was the purpose of prison. You would ask a child, where your father? They said he locked up. Where your mother? She on the run. He says, they done bombarded us with so much propaganda. There's some so stopping crime. You got people saying, Beryl, I ain't got no mama. My dad, you know what I'm saying? As opposed to who the real criminals are. You know what I'm saying? They say, you can't dress this. You can't dress this up whatever you want to say about this is some sort of deter crime about the case of Mr. Hoover. You know what I'm saying?
It's insane.
It's insane. You gotta be real. You gotta be a real creative writer. The sell that snake oil. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta be an evil person.
Man, I told this lady, she's gonna come on. You saying free Larry? I said, what you want to do? What you want to eat him? What do you do? I mean, even back from a state perspective, they say
74 years old.
Come on, man.
Come on.
Like,
come on.
That's just insane right there. He's a grandpa.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Like man, like to be in a hole for 30 plus years is that kudos to him.
Real
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like for real.
Man, your sanity
through that is ridiculous. You know that, but that's what type of man we dealing with. That's what type of man can get out here and create a change for peace.
That's your aura alone.
You know,
man,
that's it.
Yeah, your aura alone.
That's it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I said, I didn't see the body language. You know what I'm saying? When you walk in certain people, like, man, this, hold on, tighten up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tighten up.
Get on you.
Get
on your P's and Q's.
You gotta say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Tighten up. Real talk.
I just don't understand how they say that it's gonna cause more crime. And we already got a lot of crime. So,
what you got to do? Exactly.
That's a fake narrative.
Exactly.
See, those are the narratives we got to combat against. You know, like we got to get the young people to let's start some hashtags and be on one accord with it. You know, let's go to these schools. Let's see who we can really get involved. We got so many outlets, streamers, and doing all of this stuff. Let's see if they gonna back us and get on one accord.
It's a call, y'all. Let's flood with the hashtags, all that. You know what I'm saying? Let's get some freedom fighting fashion. You know what I'm saying? Come on, tie it to our conversations, like the hashtags, social media, in the studios, all that.
Right.
Yeah, let's do it, y'all. Let's up the ante. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? People say, well, I can't call in. Okay, man, hit the hashtag. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Tie it in. Real talk.
No excuses.
No excuses. Come on with it. No excuses. Execution. Come on. Let's do it. Execution. Right on. I'm speaking at a grammar school commencement speech for their graduation down the street from Ground Zero. Ground Zero is 2337 West Monroe. We're going to change the name to Chairman Fred Hampton Wade this August 30th. I came up to this school. I forgot the name of the school, but they talking about getting the annex of it named after Chairman Fred. When I came there, I got there and the children, the youngsters, they was all nonchalant talking stuff. So So I'm sitting there. I said, man, I ain't going for this. I can't. I tried to. But like Tupac said, me and my big mouth. I say, hey, hold on, this ain't how this go. You know what I'm saying? A few people like, man, hold on. I said, no, this ain't how this go. You know, I had some intense conversation with the youngsters.
For sure.
I got a phone call the other day. This is about 2-3 months ago. The youngsters, they called. They said we want Chairman Fred to come here and speak for our graduation. People want structure. The youngsters, they want. You know what I'm saying? I tell people, man, without structure, I fear myself. You know what I'm saying? You need that. You need that. If you don't, you can't raise animals like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We need structure, man. Real talk. We need it.
We need
real talk.
The big bros.
Real talk.
The unks. Everybody who had that role growing up, and when we was growing up, where you can't, your neighbor put you in the house when them street lights come on.
Yeah.
Right.
It's built on community. Kids have to respect all adults.
Man,
right. When the adult walk in, you be quiet.
Yeah.
You stay out of grown folks' business.
Need that structure.
It's a lot of stuff that we got to get back to.
That you don't feel comfortable, even not just out of physical repercussions, that you don't feel comfortable. Nobody's, you know what I'm saying, some of the stuff you be saying, you should feel you should feel embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? Don't say that, don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Man, that ain't cool. It's respect how you feel when you come out. Man, I said, man, everything from your tone, how you deal with people, your look, everything. We need, a community has that, y'all.
But let me just say this really quickly. Learning starts at the home first.
Big.
That's the problem inside the home.
Yeah.
You got a lot of parents who not parenting.
Oh no, real talk. No,
you got a lot of households with no father.
Yeah.
I'm a single mom.
Dig.
But I'm one of those moms that I did come from the streets. I didn't ask to be there.
Yeah.
But I grew up in a family that was in the streets.
Yeah.
So I had no choice.
Yeah.
And raising my children, I'm not gonna raise them like that.
Dig.
When I caught my son on Instagram, and he want to be out there in the streets, guess what I did?
Yeah.
I went and got him.
So you're right.
I didn't care.
I commend you. We also gotta combat liberalism too. I mean, but a lot of times we keep forcing to say some people are parents because you're a certain age. We got some casualties in this war. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
It got
just because you got a kid, I mean you're a parent.
Man, it was a climate in the '60s with it was a climate where parents, the people told their parents, "We love you, mom and dad. However, we ain't going for that white Jesus on the wall."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was a cover of Life magazine. I think Time magazine. Malcolm X talked about. It was a young girl in China. I hate to be graphic, y'all. She had a 45 on her daddy head. They said, "What's going?" She said he betrayed the revolution. It would see. Combat liberalism, because I told you, people be telling you I ain't that. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we gotta listen to us. Okay, man, clean out. You know what I'm saying? You had the deal. Call it for what it is. I got family members of mine who I love. So you can pass a potato salad at family reunion. When it comes to this structure with our people, you don't speak for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Man,
sit in the back.
Sit in the back. You know what I'm saying? Or get rolled over. You know what I'm saying? We have to be clear with that. You know what I'm saying? We got
for sure.
They'll pick out with this system. They'll pick out the runs to the litter.
Yep.
I tell people when I talk, I say there were those that was in the Black Panther Party, and there was those that was Black Panthers.
Exactly.
Big difference.
It's a big
Big difference. Right. Big difference. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't try it with me. They go grab certain people. Man, keep it moving, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't care, man. You know what I'm saying? Keep it moving. I tell you, I'm Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. Not just because I look like him and talk like him. I'm held accountable. You know what I'm saying? Check, you know what I'm saying? This ain't like no dynasty. Like, okay, we can watch and see what you do in the Supermax. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see if you're gonna hold the line. You know what I'm saying? I was contested conditions. So you told me you the chairman to see what to do. They just don't, oh yeah, man, it's nice. It's okay, it's father, the son, the mother. No. I appreciate, hold me accountable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We just can't catch my mama, man, accountability. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's missing.
When we had that structure, we had back in the days, that structure was checks and balances. You get out of order, man, hold on, man. It ain't no absolute. Somebody be in play one day, come and say, oh man, do that nigga gracious no more.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I tell people with me, I'm in Galesburg, man. I'm in Galesburg Penitentiary. I come out in the yard one day, man, them cats say, "Check where your sideburns at." Stuff like that. They hold me accountable. Man, my head was down. Man, you know what I'm saying? We need that. You know what I'm saying? Still shopping, still, and men and women shopping, men and women. You know what I'm saying? You need that to hold you accountable. You know what I'm saying? Real talk.
And be proud of your identity.
Man, a judge said one time, a judge said, even the problem, one of the issues with Supermax prisons, you by yourself. You see, you don't have interaction with other people. You lose. You don't have the ability to distinguish what's stinking, what look good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You your own. We say subjectivity stunts one's ability to make proper summations. You're in your own little bubble. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A shadow boxer is a champ. If you ask him or her,
Yeah.
you know, who? Yeah, he's like, but they never got in the ring.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? We grow.
You haven't been tested.
A real disciple, he had to come in contact with some stones and vice lords to say, okay, let me see if you really about that. You know what I'm saying?
What's going on.
Let's see contested conditions. You can't tell me, oh, you live around disciples, all you
Yeah.
see. You know, contested conditions. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I just see under that pressure. That pressure.
You got to remain who you are. And your character, your integrity
man.
as a man. You need to stand on your principles at all
Real
times,
talk.
no matter what
Man.
conditions you're under.
Nipsey Hussle say he should tell his daughter, you know, what you would do even somebody don't see you. You know what I'm saying? How you I mean, his brother, I was locked up. He come tell you, say, man, Chan, why you good town? I get back on the two. I do my running on the yard. You know, so he said, you the only Panther here. Why you still got to do that? You know, and I was like, no, this he can understand. I said, no, this is something for me. You know what I'm saying? It's certain what we do, but I guess you know what I'm saying. They need that. What I would do even if nobody see me.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. What you do when nobody's looking is the true testament of who you are.
And you need something you connected to, a legacy or a community of people. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Say, hold on, there's no people coming. Ain't you such?
They can speak
ain't you one of
on
them guys from 74th Street?
Yeah.
You one of them guys. You say, oh, so I'm not just looking at you, I'm looking at 74th Street. You know what I'm saying? Say, hold on, you want. I mean, I done seen guys say, man, it's one of Mr. Hoover's men.
Yeah. Exactly.
Tighten up.
Exactly.
Tighten up, because you represent a community.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Like that. That's crazy because like that's the same thing. Like when I went to college.
Yeah.
You know, I was so conditioned on being in a structural organization.
Right.
I pledged a fraternity because it's like the same thing, the same concept. You know.
Yeah.
And that. It's all about structure.
You need that.
It's all about structure and being held accountable for who you are. Excuses are monuments of nothingness that build bridges that lead to nowhere. Those who use those tools of incompetence are masters of nothingness.
The masters of what?
Nothingness.
Come on.
So therefore, there are no excuses, only executions.
Man, a lot of people they be talking about why would Pac? I say Pac needed. My mother said it best. She said Pac needed organization. And organization needed Pac.
Facts.
Not that you not nothing by yourself, but to interact with people. I said you can't come from that cloth is ingrained in you. Know what I'm saying? Like it's like automatically. You know what I'm saying? You come. I tell people, but man, and I move through. I can feel which person on my security at that time. How I'm moving, so. That situation in Africa, that's sticking in my mind. I was just they like, what is he staring at? It was so. I mean, it was. Man, I said, man, how do you stestabilize our community?
It's a flow. It was a flow state, man, right?
The music, man, he didn't even look at her, man. He got the cop, man. He hit that thing, and the rap just went around the baby. I said, oh man, what the harmony our people come from. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And we'll figure out the verse of time. So I don't give them the chain gang. Locked up, where that rhythm come from. We'll link right in, connect. You know what I'm saying? That structure, man. Yeah.
It's strength in numbers.
No doubt about it.
Man.
No doubt about it. Yeah.
And it takes a village.
Yeah.
And that's what Obey Your Dreams is.
Dig.
We are a village
so
for
each
right. other.
So you're right.
Know, because as I say, all us together, we are forced to be reckoned
with. Come on now. So you're right.
Yeah.
Right on. We honored and humbled to have y'all here. Y'all make sure y'all stay in contact.
No, for sure. We on your team, man.
Man, so you're right. Give me some social media tags or something too.
Mike Larry baby _OYD or Obey Your Dreams TV. Obey Your Dreams Academy is our nonprofit page. We just did 100 shirts at Lionel Hampton to teach them entrepreneurship. You know, we got Life Entertainment, we got Vanna B, we got Damo, we got Angel Wings, we got Keisha G. You know, follow all of those pages. Once you go to Obey Your Dreams page, you'll see all of us, all our faces, all the whole team. And if you're looking to find your purpose in life, if you're looking to get a second chance to finally take that step and believing in yourself and actually having a family that believes in you too, then come on, reach out, man. We got a lot of opportunities We got a program this summer, Real Talk and Rhymes, the history of hip hop and creative writing, that we're partnering with After School Matters. So if you know a teenager, 14, 15, 13, and they like music and they want to get paid to come learn, then come step out. You know, if you want to have an internship, you know, we got cameras. We work with the best cameras, Sony's. We do photography. I could teach you how to create your own flyers, to create your own graphics, to create your own everything. You know, we're in the entire industry and we're self-sufficient. You know, I could teach you how to be an independent artist and get all of your royalties, and from 1 to 18 of those sites that you need. We created these last night. You know, we say we going to meet Fred after, we gotta be fly. You feel me? The chairman Fred after Jr. We gotta stand on business, man. It's an honor to be here, bro. Like, it's a real. We was watching Judas and the Black Messiah last night. Like, look, I'm telling you, boy, when you call me, I'm like, oh yes, sir, man. Whenever you call, I'm coming. You know what I mean? That's how I feel, bro. You know, real.
We locked and loaded. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
We connected. Speaking of Jews and Black Messiah, y'all, this upcoming Father's Day, y'all, before June 13th, we're gonna be showing it at the museum in New Orleans, and then we going to an annual trip, Father's Day trip down to the graveyard in Haynesville, Louisiana, where he's buried at. Yeah, so we're going to fly for that done quick. I got some consistent team. Shout out, this is Mary and everybody on here now, Nate, Ron. But I know, man, I'll be moving so fast. I want to connect you up. We're gonna need some assistance, like flyers and camera people on different moves too. Cause I tell you, I'll be moving so much. I say like. He say Park when he get out. The producer's like, damn, he ain't nonstop. You know what I'm saying? Till you on makeup time. I'll be on makeup time. You know what I'm saying?
Don't work for work.
Yeah, we connected. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, whatever y'all get going on, open mic, y'all come opportunity. And this is on Wednesday. We finna up the ante on. So we finna gonna do stuff at the Hampton House. You know what I'm saying? And again, I want y'all officially on deck with us August 30th. That's Chairman Fred gonna be his 77th birthday. I'm gonna throw this out there. I want to do y'all. I'm putting this out there, y'all. They do this thing where they threw rubber duckies in the water. Then they St. Patrick's they turn the water green. August 30th, I want to turn the water black. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm talking about? Yes, sir.
30th, yes, sir. We're going to put a call out there. And I'm going to be down there. You know, some big old jug. You know what I'm saying? We're going to turn the water black.
Turn it black,
30th, baby. Turn the water black. August 30th, Chairman Fred's birthday. I see they got these things. They throw their flood ducks in there.
Yeah.
The Irish coming on St. Patrick's Day. Okay. August 30th, y'all. I'm officially saying we turn the water black. August 30th,
black, man.
It want to become an ongoing thing, annual thing. That's right. Yeah, turn the water black.
Yeah,
we live and direct in the spirit of making history, taking this and taking history, y'all. Make sure y'all get all them contacts we put out there. Make sure y'all repost this. Again, we are honored and humbled to serve. You know what I'm saying? We need all over the world. We're gonna be back. We continuously moving and grooving here at Freedom Radio, here at IntellectualRadio.com. We post this, y'all. Support, obey your dreams, and all the other. Go back to the social media sites, y'all. Keep your heads up, your eyes open, your fists clenched. You know what I'm saying? Again, man, what's the call? Free them all.
Free them all.
Free them all.
Free them all.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
That was beautiful.